All right, welcome back to Hour 2. Well, I guess technically Hour 3 because we had Bills Game Day with Derek earlier on. But I'm Nate Geary. That's Sneaky Joe DiBiase. We're getting you ready for the 4:30 p.m. kick, AFC Divisional Round kick between the Bills and the Denver Broncos with Chris Brown and Eric Wood calling the play-by-play from the Northwest Bank broadcast booth. Today's broadcast is presented by Delta Sonic Car Wash. It started out with a kiss. And it's, of course, time now for Bills Game Day. It's powered by Anderson Water, Power, and Air. Anderson, tap in to better living.
In programming note, again, reminder, if you are looking for the Sabres game against the Wild, that's over on the Bet 1520.
Correct.
That starts at 12:30, 25 minutes. Nice little appetizer for Bills-Broncos a little bit later on. I may have or may not have bet both teams to win today. Double victory Saturday. I wish this game was tomorrow. I could have used a buffer day.
I'm good with it being
You'd rather
today.
have it right away?
Because I'm going to enjoy my Sunday for the first time in a long time.
Well,
maybe.
If they lose, you won't. You're gonna want to watch football if they lose?
Probably.
Not as much.
I will say,
Not as much. I'll be way more engaged if they win today.
I have watched a collective 35 minutes of college football.
Okay.
Like in the playoffs. Like I watched the end of the A&M Miami game.
Okay.
I watched part of that Indiana game, but it was a blowout. Like they really haven't been good games.
You get a lot of blowouts.
But, Notre Dame wasn't in it. So I guess if I would apply that same logic, like, okay, well, Notre Dame's not in it. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't want to watch. But the last couple of years with NHL playoffs, I've started to come around to watching hockey in
Even though the Sabres aren't
April,
in it.
May, and June.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really hard, though, because it's just is like, okay, well, I'm just so used to the season being over in November that hockey's off the tray for me by April. And it's kind of more, I'm watching the Knicks, and I'm waiting for the NBA basketball.
Yeah, I will say, depending on what happened, this is very secondary to everything that happens today. If depending on the Bills win or lose, it will change who I root for tomorrow in the other AFC game. Now, if the Bills lose...
You want the Patriots.
I want the Texans to win because I don't need New England going to. At that point, it's all about New England just not going, right? It's what everything is about then. Because them going and you losing the divisional round, that'll sting. But to me, priority one is whatever gives the Bills the best chance to reach the Super Bowl. And I'm putting all the New England feelings about, what would it feel like if you lost to them aside in the name of, I think that's the better matchup for the Bills in the AFC Championship game. So if the Bills win today, I will be rooting for New England to win tomorrow. I would rather play New England.
I think I'm rooting for Houston either way.
Yeah? You think they're a better matchup?
Here's, maybe not the matchup, but here's my ideology behind this. Here's my, I shouldn't say ideology. Here is my philosophy behind this. Houston's not a disguising defense. They literally run, they're sort of like the Joe Brady of defenses. They run a handful of plays. They do them really well. And they say, that's no frills. We're going to line up four. We're going to rush you. And we feel like we're going to get after you. We're going to run zone behind it. We can run man if we want to. But otherwise, good luck. Mm-hmm. And I think the Bills getting a second chance at that team, knowing that the first time they'd really just lost one-on-one battles on the edges, that, okay, well, now we've got to dedicate another blocker. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. But
just chip.
We feel that, I am so unafraid of that offense.
Well, would it also, maybe I wonder, because Denver's defense is very highly ranked and Jacksonville's defense was very highly ranked. If they have beaten Denver after beating Jacksonville, will that make people more confident that they will have the answers against Houston because they have just gone through two high-level defenses?
I think so.
I guess that could change my opinion, too. I mean, I think Houston's defensive line is better than Denver's. Yeah. Denver did lead the league in sacks, but Jeremy had this earlier in the week. They piled up sacks against three guys. Justin Fields and Geno Smith were half their sacks on the season. So, are they as good as Houston? I don't think so. They're still great, but the other thing I heard a lot about what Denver does pass rush-wise this week is they are very aggressive with their lanes. And that has allowed them to get more sacks this year. Are they going to do that today?
I don't think so.
If the thing that gets them those pressures is they're nuts, they'll go around the edge and they'll open up lanes for the quarterback to run. The quarterback usually don't want to do that against Josh Allen.
I thought that's why they didn't really have a huge impact in the playoff game. is they kind of
last year.
Kyle Van Noy was on another podcast. I forget the name of the podcast, but he was saying, like, if we could go back to week 1 all over again, he's like, I think we would have just played patty cake and said, we're going to stay here. We're not going to get upfield. We're going to force Josh Allen to beat us from the pocket, because where he really beats teams is when he extends plays and moves out of the pocket. The only problem with that is if you leave him in the pocket and let him extend plays from there, I think he can have the same effect as if he's moving to his right or to his left.
Right.
So, again, it's with Josh Allen. You pick your poison. We'll see. Steve Spagnuolo is not on the other sideline today, and I do think that plays something for the Bills.
Right. Vance Joseph is on the other
side. He's going to get some head coaching looks, but I'm not.
I mean, they've got some nice players. I mean,
they do.
The one difference I would say about Denver from last week, Jacksonville, is I think the coordinator, Campanelli, was getting a lot of credit for Jacksonville last week. The thing, though, they didn't really have were individual players that scared me, right? Like, Devin Lloyd a little bit, but there really wasn't that guy on that side of the ball for Jacksonville. It was more about the collective. They were very much a 1/11th defense.
Yeah.
Denver, it's a little more of, no, I got a couple guys that intimidate me. I've got Zach Allen up front. I have got Dre Greenlaw on the second level, and Hufanga, the safety. Man,
he's really good.
He'll jump routes. Maybe that gets him in trouble today.
He's really good.
Does Allen bait him into, you think you're getting a pick, 15 yards? I'm going to put it over your head now.
Yeah.
We'll see what kind of game he has. And then Surtain, obviously, who is the best corner in football. So they've got 3 or 4 individuals that I think are the type of guys that could break a game open on that side of the ball. But it's still, again, all this is not enough for me to really lose confidence. I think the Bills' defense today is going to have a day. What if I told you Denver? We had a caller the other day call and say, like, I could see, or actually it wasn't a caller. It was we had a guest on from Denver, and he predicted the Broncos were going to win like 27-24. And after he was out, I thought, how are they? Let's say they score 27. What does it look like? What would Denver scoring 27 today look like? Because I have a really hard time seeing it.
I do too. I think it's largely because people in Denver have been looking at this Bills defense, and I think largely looking at the sum of it,
okay,
like the whole of it, rather than what they've done over the last month. I think the turning point for this defense was in the second half of that Patriots game.
Okay, but again, so what does that equate to? They think they're going to throw the ball all over the Bills? They think they're going to run it all day with R.J. Harvey? Like, what would a Denver 27-point output look like? I can't really imagine it. It would be Nix.
Yeah.
It would be Bo Nix, like, just channeling some inner dog that he has in him that Trevor Lawrence didn't, and that carries them to a giant day through the air. Like, it almost would be like some version of the Tebow-Pittsburgh game, I feel like, in 2011 in the playoffs. Like, this quarterback, Nix is better than Tebow, but this quarterback that you don't think is really that good, and then he just channels something inside him that is better. But even that, like, I looked back on Bo Nix's, like, college resume and include that with last year's playoff game, and, like, bowl games, conference championships, last year's playoffs game against the Bills. Like, he doesn't really ascend in these big games. Like, he had one good bowl game in his college career, and his college career was like 10 years. So is he actually that guy? Like, I can't get myself to believe that Denver is going to score today. It's all about that side of the ball today for me is my confidence. I think the Bills' offense can do enough, but it's all about, I think, McDermott and Babbage and getting Oliver back. Like, they're going to have the answers.